Spacey Sims, and we're back with more kitty love. It's still awkward, but it's getting funnier. I mean, it's been funny the whole time, but anyway. I didn't know this was here. Okay? Like, I didn't know this was here. I was like, I accidentally hit the button. I was like, trying to go to the main part, and I'm like, what is this? Like, you hear, like, you can go to the story, and it just tells you the little backstory. So, like, flower shop clerk Spacey has been occupied with her work one night when she visits the park that she normally goes to. That's the full sentence, by the way. I find that amazing. She's been cursed by the odd-eyed black cat that she becomes a cat only at night. There's only one way to break the curse, to have a true love's kiss. In order to break the curse, she lives a double life as a human by day and a cat by night. But then there's the character things, which I thought was cute. So we obviously have us. We're the main character who works at the flower shop. We've been busy with our work, and we're tired of our life. And one day, we've been cursed by a black cat to become a cat. And so it's got your age, height, hobby, favorite food, all that stuff. Okay, fine. Then we've got Takuma, Spacey's boss, the manager of the flower shop. Now, I thought he was the owner because she said something about he has his own flower shop, but I guess he's managing the flower shop, so I guess he's not the owner. But anyway, doesn't make a difference. He's kind and has a smile all the time, but he has a past that he can't tell anyone. I feel like if we read that, like, before we did, we'd be like, oh, and then we get to his past and you're like, seriously, you were like a jerk for like once in your life? Like, what the hell? Like, it makes it sound so much more dramatic than it is. And no, we can't like click these or anything. So we get everybody's age. So we're 21. Everybody else is in their 20s too. So anyway, but I like his hobby, working out. He just doesn't seem like the kind. Like, I know he said that in a thing, and you're like, really? Because you just don't seem the type. Okay, like, and we have Kohei, childhood friend. He's always caring about us. I can't say Hanoka because we're not Hanoka. We're Spacey. And frequently visits the flower shop. Obviously, we know his hobby is going around to cat cafes. That's funny. Fujimoto is a blunt policeman. He visits the flower shop often while he's patrolling. He likes anything that's cute. I'm glad we didn't know this, though, before. Like, I'm glad I didn't find this out before because it's funnier when you're in his path and you're like, that's your, like, secret? That's adorable. Anyway, hobby is collecting a cute stuff. Kawahara is a host at a host club. He always have a trouble with Spacey. I love the terrible translations today. I don't know. Anyway, he uses the flower shop because of his work. He has a sharp tongue, but he's really serious. He likes going around instrument shops. So, interesting. Okay, we're going to find that out. And Saijo, of course. This is the one that I find amusing. One of the regulars at the flower shop. He's a famous Japanese flower arrangement artist. He's very gentle but difficult to understand. He really is a cat. I feel like if we had read this in the very beginning, he really is something about that. And then if I hadn't spoiled the game for us in the first second we saw the cat, I would have spoiled it that. Like, you know what I mean? From the beginning. All right, so we've already done Takuma, Kohei, Fujimoto. Hi, nobody fucking asked you. Stop screaming. We don't tolerate that. You know better. You should, yeah, you know what? That's why you're in your cage. You're being punished. And I didn't put you in there. You put yourself in there. So you have no one to bitch at. But you know what? Stay in there, jerk face. I love you, but you're jerk face. Don't look at me like you want to come out. I didn't put you in there. Did you put yourself in there? He's like running back and forth like, hi, can I come out? The door is open and you put yourself in there. So like, I don't know what you want me to do. Anyway, we are going to do Kawahara's route. So here we go. Yes, we do. It'll probably be like one part and we'll be done because they're getting shorter as they go. Anyway. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Make sure our guide is up. Okay. This must be a dream. A nightmare. I closed my eyes and kept on thinking. I must have been really tired and fell asleep. When I open my eyes, I'll be either in the shop or at my place. That's right. Yeah, it's all a dream. I hoped it to be a dream and opened my eyes. But I was still in the park. There are dim lights next to the park and a silent street that not many people go through. I can see from the reflection that I'm a cat. This is me. This tiny cat. That's me. I had no clue what to do, and I placed my forehead on the ground. It's cool. It makes me calm down a little. But then I started to wonder, what should I do? Would I be able to become a human again? That black cat said I can go back to being a human during the day, but at night I'll become a cat again. Curse. It's so unrealistic that I still think it's a dream. Bird! Even if it's not a dream, I still can't understand that I'm a cat. Me turning into a cat? No one's going to believe me. If it's not a dream, what is it? That reflection is just my imagination? Okay, hold on. Sorry. I gotta get the fuck out here and shut up. Stop being an asshole. Stop it. Stop being a jerk. Why are you being a jerk? Stop. Yes, that's fine. You can chirp and play, but don't scream. Douchebird. Welcome to our videos. I kept on asking myself the question and started laughing. Even without the reflection, I can see the white fur on myself. Nothing will happen if I stay like this. I slowly stood up. Large street, longer road, high wall, and higher sky. Everything looks different. The world looks so different and scary. I'm so glad I'm living by myself. I won't be able to go home to my parents like this. I mean, that's true. Maybe I would have had more help if I was living with my family. Anyway, I have to go home by myself. That's not gonna change. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my headset because it's like, it feels like it's down too far, but then when I try to like adjust the earpiece and then it's too up to, my head is weird. Anyway, be positive. I was thinking that, but it's hard to be positive that easily. I was walking on the street where no one was walking and thinking about the future. I don't know whether what that black cat said is true, but if I'm a cat at night, how could I live? Like meals, is it wrong to have a meal like a human? I'm guessing that's what they're supposed to mean. Even if I'm a cat, I don't want to have cat food. Oh, and where are my clothes? If I turn back into a human, I hope I'm wearing the clothes I was wearing. But what if I'm naked? This is really interesting that she's having all these thoughts in this route and like not in the other ones. Were we supposed to do his route first, you think? Because like, I mean, I was just thinking to myself, like, as she's walking, she's thinking, in the very beginning, the first one when we chose Takuma, it's like, true love's first kiss. The first thing that pops in my head is Takuma. And I'm like, how the hell, if you gotta think about someone you're gonna fall in love with, would you ever think of Kawahara because he's kind of a dick to you? And you're like, he's such a jerk. Like, you kind of think of him as a pain in the ass. So, like, I mean, obviously, with the other paths, we didn't instantly think of them. It was we ran into them, or I mean, Kohei maybe a little bit because he's our childhood friend, but like with Fujimoto, it's like we just happened to run into him and then we were curious about him and then we kept seeing him. So I'm sure that's kind of what's going to happen here, but it's still like that idea was in my head. Like she's going to be like, I need to have true love's first kiss. Hey, how about that guy who's kind of a dick to me? I.e. me in every Otome game. But anyway. But it's funny that she's thinking about being naked. Like, and on the other one, she was concerned. She was like, where's my shit? In, like, one route, but that's it. Like, no! As I was thinking that, I saw the end of the road. There'll be a way to go to a residential area. If I turn that corner, it should be near my apartment soon. I shouldn't move around right now, so I should go back home. When I turned around, it was a street with neon signs and a bright street. I turned around in silence and I realized I took the wrong way. I thought I was taking the same street as usual, but I took a wrong way on the road. I went the wrong way on the road. I took a wrong turn. I didn't know I was taking the wrong street. I know I was thinking, but the view right now is very different from usual, so that's probably why. Dream at night. To go back, I have to take this street, but, at the downtown, so in the downtown area? Oh, in downtown. There's so many people and most of them are drunk. It might be dangerous to walk around when I'm not used to myself. I remembered the bad experience before and I frowned. I can go through this downtown and get home and I can go through this downtown to get home and it'll be easy to go through when I'm a cat. I remembered the bad time before. She was harassed once going through the downtown area, but that was in someone's path. That wasn't in the main thing. So, like, what's she thinking about? Right? Wasn't it? I don't know. I want to go home quickly, so I'll just go through. I went under the arch and went inside the downtown. I tried to go through the side of the street. It looks different from usual, so it makes my eyes tired. When I was blinking, there was someone talking above me. Hey, watch out! There's a cat, cat! Cat, is that me? I looked up and there was a foot with leather shoes. Ah! I jumped and stepped on his foot. You were about to step on it. Oh, the cat? There shouldn't be a cat here, right? Yeah. You probably are drunk. I think you're both drunk. I was trying to pass through the area where no one could go through, so I went in between the shops. It smells like garbage, but there's no one drunk here, so it makes me feel calmer. That street is dangerous. It was good that there's two earlier. Oh, that there was only two earlier. But if there's a bunch of drunk people coming, then I won't be able to avoid them. I shouldn't pass the big street. Could I pass through this alleyway to pass through downtown? It's really interesting that the whole entire first part in his chapter is just her trying to figure out how to get home, and it's like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking like it's kind of usually like okay, I'll go home. Boom, there's our boyfriend, and it's like 20 minutes of like, well, 10 minutes of me yelling at my bird, and like it's a lot of just navigating a street. It's just a thought, anyway. But as far as I know, there's only a big street I can take to go home. That makes more sense. Wow, that's a really bad time. The terrible typist strikes again. Even if I chose this way, I didn't have any confidence to go home. I feel like there are other ones where the wording was a little awkward, but it was, you know, you read it and in your mind you're like, sounds a little awkward, but you could go through. This one feels worse. Like this one has severe awkwardness. So it's almost like somebody else translated this versus other ones. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it's just me, but all I have to do is take a look and see if I can go through or not. When I walked a little, when I looked up, there's Mr. Kawahara that I always have trouble with during the day. I don't really like him. Why do I have to bump into him right now? I love this. I don't really like him. But you're gonna fall in love with him. I should run. I don't know him that well, but I don't think he'll like a small animal. I was thinking of turning around to go back. When I was about to leave, I don't remember the voice we gave him. I really don't. And I don't, like, Fujimura, I guess we'll just normal. I don't remember I just realized, I'm like, he showed up like once or twice in the very beginning, and like, we haven't seen him since, so I don't know. So, oh, there's a kitty. He sounded more lively than I thought. Okay, I gotta change that. So I stopped. We'll work it out. Is that voice, really? The voice didn't match with the image of the shop, so I turned around to check. Wow, you're so cute. Where did you come from? Are you a stray cat, or are you from that from another shop? I don't really care about that. You're so cute. Mr. Kawahara crouched down and tried to call to me. Apparently he really loves cats. He really loves the cat. That could have been worded so much worse, but also so much better, because it just makes me think inappropriate. He really loves the wow game. No. When he smiled, I was about to move towards him, but I remembered how he acted at the shop and stopped moving. Wait a second. When I met him during the day, he was so mean. I shouldn't trust his smile. But you're a cat, so I don't know what he's going to do either. Don't be so defensive. I won't do anything. He said it as if he read my mind. I jumped because he said it as if I was having a conversation. When I looked at him, he looked at me, laughing as if he was a child. What is this? Feel awkward. He might be cute. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, but okay. First of all, this is obvious. Again. I mean, I think we get points up either way, but he might be cute. Huh. Why am I thinking he's cute? He's always telling me I'm useless and looking so disappointed. I might be bad sometimes, but he should fix how he talks to people. When I realized it, it's making it harder to go closer. But when I see him smile with his hands out, his expression was so sweet that it takes my cautiousness away. I shouldn't be fooled. When he saw me not coming closer, he stood up and went towards the door. Is he going back to the shop? I was thinking about his attitude during the day, but I feel bad ignoring him. Is he talking to us? Hey, lady, wanna have some tea? He started to talk to me as if he's working at the club. What are you doing? I'm a cat. I didn't understand what he meant and just looked at him. But it started to sound funny that I went inside the shop. I wanted to rest a bit, so I guess I could stay a little bit. I was telling myself as I was making an excuse and went towards the door. This is cool because I want to see inside the club. But like, I don't want to frequent the club, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go to the club, but I want to go to the club. Like, I don't want to go to the club because like, I don't need an escort, well, whatever. But I want to go to the club because I'm fucking curious. Like, his shop looked lively. I can hear many men talking behind the door that's leading to the club area. I can hear the women's voices sometimes. It's a fun laugh. When I looked towards the door, he said, "This way, come on. If the others see it, you'll be kicked out." I think he's nice to the cat, but others might know. I should just go as he says. I don't know that. Okay. It said now, others now. But I don't think that's what they meant, but I followed him quickly. Ugh, this is so dirty. I told them not to make a mess before they go to the club area. I'm sorry, I'll make somewhere you can sit. The room he took me to was very small and filled with the scent of perfume and cigarettes. There are boxes that are halfway opened, clothes and magazines on the sofa. Mr. Kawahara took all of them and placed them on the table. There are ashtrays and ashes and some medicine for digestion and other business cards. It's difficult to even say that it's clean just to be nice. The business card was very decorative as well as the name on the business card. You're interested in this business card? It's shiny, isn't it? Do cats like shiny stuff? Oh well, this is my business card. This is my professional name. I'm called Kyo as a host. When I looked at Mr. Kawahara to listen, he smiled again. You have good manners, don't you? You're so adorable. Adorable? I was getting so embarrassed and looked away from Mr. Kawahara. He's saying to a cat and not telling me as a human. I was trying to make me think? I wonder if they meant think, but I was trying to make me think? I was trying to think? I don't know. But when I started to feeling embarrassed, it was difficult to calm down. He's normally the one who's really mean. Is that my imagination? It's difficult to say that he's a bad person if he's being this nice to the cat. When I was thinking, he stood up and left the room. What happened to him? Is he back to work? It's not comfortable to stay in the room alone like this. The sofa is soft and comfortable, but it smells different from usual and it feels quite weird. But I guess it's better to stay alone at home. I was being cautious earlier about Mr. Kawahara, but I'm more relaxed about him now. It just took one little smile and she's like, you know what? Sure, fine. He's always an asshole to me, but he winked at me, but he smiled at me once, so I'm down. Like, literally me in every Otome game, but anyway. I'm sure I misunderstood and he's not that person. After I turned into a cat, it hasn't been long, but I have a different impression of him now. When I'm a cat, maybe I should stay with Mr. Kawahara. I do realize that this is extremely rushed. Like, you'd be like, seriously? Like, after 2 minutes, you changed your total opinion? But then again, it's because we're rushing through. Like, you know what I mean? This is not going to take, like... Even in other games, it's like a week later, and you're like, seriously? A week later? This is a light, fluffy game. There's not a lot of character development, you know what I mean? And the character development's going to happen fast, so... On one hand, seriously, 2 minutes. But on the other, it's like, yeah, I mean, I expect that from my fluff, so... Yeah. I was thinking about that, but I shouldn't stay as a cat forever. I have to go back to being a human. I know that's not what it said, but I was thinking of resting here a little, but I can't think of a solution. So I think I should leave. And before anyone finds me, I jumped from the sofa and went towards the door. When I started walking on the floor, the door opened. Oh, someone entered the room. I should hide. I tried to go under the table to hide. When I looked from under the table, it was Mr. Kawahara standing by the door. Phew. He's kind of adorable. Look at his gold chain. So pimptastic. I came out from under the table and looked at Mr. Kawahara. He has a glass plate in his hand. It looks like an expensive plate. He was humming and came into the room and sat in front of me. He placed the glass plate on the floor. There was water inside. He went to get this. Here, drink this. I looked at Mr. Kawahara. I guess he likes feeding cats. I don't think this is his first time. You're not going to drink this. Do you like milk better? I didn't drink it for a while and he started to look sad. If he looks at me like this, I have to drink. You don't want the drink that I roofied? Oh, he made me feel guilty. I have to drink. Like, what the... I know it's just a cat and he didn't roofie it, but it's still funny. He's like, oh, you don't like this? She's like, I have to do it. He's going to feel bad. Like, what the fuck? That's not how it works. Oh, God. I still am not used to drinking off a plate, but Mr. Kawahara helped me, so I don't want to make him sad. Thank you very much. When I tried to say my gratitude, I was making a meowing sound. I said in cat language, but he understood me. He smiled happily. You are a cutie. I really want to touch you, but I'm wearing a suit. If I didn't have work, I'd be happy to be watching you. He looks upset. I guess he really loves cats. He's quick to get depressed, but he's also quick to become positive. He looks at me with a smile. It sounds like a lie that he looks depressed. When I was looking at him, our eyes met. He doesn't look away after our eyes meet. Even if I'm a cat, I still get embarrassed too. I wanted to say back to him, but Mr. Kawahara was smiling at me still. It's difficult to say no to him. That's so troublesome. The door suddenly opened. Others will find out. I hid under the table. Mr. Kyo, you've been called. Mr. Kawahara raised one hand to try and fix his hair and went towards the door. I hope I won't be found out. I was trying to not to make any sound and listen to their conversation. The door wasn't closed yet. I heard a voice, but are you alone? I was on the phone. I'll fix my hair, so can you go now? The person who came to call bowed and left. Phew, he didn't even knock on the door. What bad manners. Mr. Kawahara murmured and stood up to stretch. Gotta work now. I wanted to watch you, but, oh well, leave before anyone gets here. He took the glass plate away and smiled. Okay. Meow. Fucking love our cat avatar, I really do. Mr. Kawahara nodded when I replied. He left the room and the door opened. Even if I was told to go home from here, I don't know the way back from here. I tried to hide under the stuff inside the room. I went next to the houseplant next to the door and curled up. When it's close to the door, even if they find me, I'll be able to leave the room easily. I was able to calm down a little, so I was thinking over what happened to myself. This curse only happens at night. I can go back to being a human during the day. In order for me to break the curse is to have true love's kiss. After I started to think a little, it sounds like a fairy tale, but it's real. True love's kiss. I've thought about it with my eyes closed, but I can't think of anyone. I don't have anyone I love. Well, even though I had someone I like, I've never had a close relationship to kiss. When was the last time I went on a date with a boy? I haven't been in love for a while. When I was sighing, I heard the sound of a broken glass. It was followed by the sound of a woman screaming. What's going on? I heard Mr. Kawahara's voice. Calm down, Saya. I don't have anyone but you, Kyo. I need you, Kyo. Did I hear a name? Kyo? I felt surprised when I heard the name. The woman continued screaming. Hey, you can stay with me. You don't have to do anything. I'll do anything for you. Oh, good Lord. Girl, you're paying this man. It's not, anyway. Hey, so if you're not going to go out with me, I'll die. Saya, please calm down. I'll die. I've only heard of this on TV. Gave me a chill. So obviously she was like, we should actually really date. And he's like, no, this is a professional working relationship. And now she's literally flipping her shit. Well, I can hear better even with the distance. I can hear crying and screaming. It's scary. I was curling small to hide myself. Then suddenly the noise was gone. Maybe it's calmed down. For a while there weren't any conversations. After a little while I can hear sobbing. That sobbing was gone. Someone was saying they called a cab, so she probably left the place. I'm sorry to make a huge scene. Anyone hurt? Are you all right? Mr. Kawahara sounded sad. There were people answering they were okay. I feel bad saying enjoy after that, but please enjoy your time here for the girl who left early. After he talked, the club was a bit more lively. Phew. I heard the voice closer when I felt relieved. Kazuya. Oh, who's he? Who's he? He doesn't have a thing. Can we date him too? Just kidding. Hey, Kyo. I heard this lower voice and talking to Mr. Kawahara. Okay, lower voice, okay. By the sound of it, they must be close to this room. The one he's talking to is called Mr. Kazuya. He talks like he's talking to a colleague. What was that about? Mr. Kawahara started raising his voice after the question. My customer told me she'll die if I don't go out with her. That's what I know. I'm asking you why there was screaming. Why? Maybe she wasn't mentally stable. Even if she does, you have to control her not to be that loud. It's part of your job. Ugh, this is the #1 host. Oh, wait. This is the #1 host in the host. This is the #1 host in the host club. If your customer controls you, you won't last. I know, I'll take care of her. Of course. Don't let that happen ever again. Right. Thank you for your advice. I can hear the voice closer to the room. If I stay here, they'll find me. If I stay here, I'll make another problem for Mr. Kawahara and get him yelled at. I shouldn't get him into trouble. I went closer to the window and jumped out. Hey, you there! Hey! Are you alright? I felt like someone was tapping my shoulder. I woke up and there was a lady who lives next door to me, also. Yes, how can I help you? There was a face right in front of me, so I jumped when I opened my eyes. You'll be in the way of people passing by. She had a hesitant smile on her face and looked at my face. A couple of seconds later, I remembered about yesterday. I was cursed last night and became a cat. I was lost downtown and Mr. Kawahara helped me, and after Mr. Kawahara went back to work, I tried to go back home, but I couldn't find the key, and more like I lost all my stuff. It was gone when I turned into a cat. There was no key, so I couldn't open the door, and I couldn't go anywhere, so I was sitting by the entrance. And I slept. It was morning already, and my neighbor came out to take the garbage and found me. If others see me, I would look like I was drunk or something. Hey, are you really okay? You look out of it. No, nothing. I'm fine. Really? Then it's okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you. I try to smile and get away from her, but she looks at me weird. My neighbor looked at me and walked down the stairs. I should just go inside the room. Oh, I don't have my bag. I can't get in. I was feeling anxious, but there was my bag where I could see it. How? I don't have any memory of bringing this. I couldn't bring my bag when I was a cat. I'm wearing clothes, too. I check everywhere on my body. It was all clean. It'll be a problem if I do this every day. I remembered how my neighbor looked at me, and I had a bitter smile on my own. I was worried that I might become a cat again tonight. I opened the door. Because that's true, she's got no way to, and she has to leave a window open, so. I was thinking, and everything seems frustrating. I collapsed on my bed. It was so good to lie down. When I looked at the clock, I jumped. I'm gonna be late! I got out of the bed and went to the bathroom. Good morning. Morning. What happened? You look tired. The moment I got to the shop, he asked me a question I didn't expect. I don't want to make him worry, and even if I tell him, he wouldn't be able to understand. I try to smile and avoid the conversation like I did with my neighbor. That's not true. I'm energetic as usual. I answered, but I guess he understood something was wrong. He looked at me strangely. Really? Okay. Don't force yourself, all right? Yes, thank you very much. I was happy that he was worried about me. I smiled and bowed. I was curious about the curse, and I've been zoning out so much today. True love. Is there anyone who would be my true love? Well, even if I had someone I'm in love with, that doesn't mean that person would love me back. I have to think of something. It's difficult. Look, he's in normal clothes. I was thinking of that before. I'm like, oh, we're going to probably see him in normal clothes because we only ever see him in his pimp suit. I mean, the suit's nice. It's the gold chain that's just seriously, no, so I was thinking, I wonder if he's kind of like a jerk to us because he's kind of she's cute, but you know what I mean? Maybe that's why he's a little mean. He's hasn't grown out of that little kid thing. I don't know. Anyway. Hello? Oh, hello? When I heard the voice, I turned around in surprise. You finally looked this way. There was Mr. Kawahara standing behind me. He He had similar clothing to yesterday afternoon. No, he didn't. No, he doesn't. He does not have similar clothing. We did not see him ever in his tracksuit. Did we? I don't remember it anyway. How are you? Are you all right? You're even more zoned out than usual. I don't know. His voice is all over the place, but like whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, I'm sorry. How may I help you? Are you really okay? I want to have some dendrobium. As the main flower in it needs to be arranged in a chic way. Dendrobium? I've heard about it before. When I looked a little troubled, Mr. Kawahara looked weirdly at me. Look, you're working in the flower shop, aren't you? You don't know dendrobium. I'm sorry, I'll ask Takuma. I tried to deal with him on my own, but it made it worse. I learned it from yesterday. I tried to ask Takuma, and I turned around from Mr. Kawahara. He's always like that. When it comes to cats, he's really sweet. He might not have a good attitude towards me, but he could be a nice person. For now, it's limited to cats. Hi, Takuma. Oh, hi. I finished my work and left immediately. The sun was going down, but it doesn't feel like I'm turning into a cat. But I don't know when I was going to change, so I wanted to go home as soon as I could. If I was at home, there won't be anyone watching me. I rushed and tried to see if there was that black cat, but I didn't see him. Hi, Takuma. I feel like we should have said goodbye to Takuma, not hi, but okay. I got home and put my stuff down. I was so relieved. It was about the time that I turned into a cat yesterday. At that moment, I sensed an unbearable irritation in my body. When that stopped, I turned into a cat. I became a cat again. What should I do from now on? I was curling up on the cushion. I was thinking about what I should do. I'll turn back into a human in the morning. I've already checked. What are you doing? Being fucking weird. I could just hear his little toes clicking around on the little plastic thing that they put under his cage. I'm just like, what are you doing? He's running around on the floor. I locked the door. If I stay at home, I'll finish tonight peacefully. But I thought of Mr. Kawahara's smile towards me when I was a cat yesterday. He seems like he was in trouble last night. I hope he's all right. I was worried about the trouble he had last night. He seems like he was fine this morning, so I guess he's all right. Why is this? I'm so curious. I'm being curious because he was being kind to me when I felt vulnerable after I became a cat. Isn't it? I left my window open and I jumped outside. A couple of minutes after I ran from the house, I got to the downtown area from yesterday. It's earlier than yesterday, so there's no drunk people on the street. But I won't know what's going on, but I won't know what's going to happen if I walk slow, so I look around a little. That's Mr. Kawahara's host club. He had a back door in the alleyway. I was trying to follow back my memory and looked onto the street, but Mr. Kawahara never came to the shop 2 days in a row. What should I do? If I stay around the shop, they'll look at me funny. I mean, you're a cat, so no. Well, I was thinking, the back door opened. Oh, that's the kitty from last night. You came. Good. I turned around and there was Mr. Kawahara in a suit. He gave me an innocent smile and reached out to me. Hey, come in. There's no one at the back right now. You can relax a bit. Mr. Kawahara made a path to enter. I went inside the door. Mr. Kawahara looked very surprised. You're used to me now. By the sound of it, he doesn't seem depressed at all. I see he's doing well. Then I didn't need to come today. Not that I could do anything for him. He stopped in front of the staff room. He opened the door for me. When I turned around, our eyes met, and he smiled at me. Ugh, he smiles beautifully. My heart jumped when he smiled, because that's true. She's never really seen him smile, because he comes into the shop and he's kind of a dick to her. So now she's like, oh my god, when you smile, it's gorgeous. He's #1 host at the host club, so he should be smiling gorgeously. You know what's funny? Every time we have a game where we're dating a host boy, he's always #1. It's never like, I'm kind of like the middle of the pack. He's always the best fucking host. Like, I mean, you'd have to be super fucking charming, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, I'm new, so I'm kind of terrible at this. Like, I mean, technically, I guess yes, when we played Men of Yoshiwara, because technically they were all sorta hosts at the sorta host club. It's a little bit different, but so we kind of had the newbie, and he was the asshole. But anyway, it made me upset a little, and I looked away. I heard the laugh towards my back. I heard him. Well, I don't know. That laugh was only for a little bit. He seems like he's having fun. I hope he can smile like this when he comes to our shop. I entered the room. We're just never going to see the rest of the host club, huh? It's still very messy, but there. He escorted me in. I cleaned up a little bit. It'll be bad if I invite a girl in and the room is messy. My heartbeat was getting faster when he told me that. That's not in a messy room. Not in a messy room! For me? Love that. He actually cleaned for me. He wasn't sure I was going to be here. If it was for me, I'd be happy. I thought if he thought about me, I'd be happy. What am I thinking? He's doing this for a cat. I was sitting on the sofa. Mr. Kawahara was gone and he came back with a plate. Hey, want a drink? He placed the plate on the floor. It's different from yesterday and it's milk. I'll have this. Meow. Sorry, every time I see the little cat face. I wasn't moving much, but I was thirsty, so I went to have the milk. It's so delicious. I wanted to say thank you, so I looked up. He was also looking at me. He looked more serious than earlier. Never seen him like this before. I've been asked to help. I've been asked by a girl outside of the host club. It means I'll go on a date outside, but he's the #1 host in the host club, so he must have many people who want to go on a date with him. I looked at Mr. Kawahara and he was scratching his head. Hey, it's nothing I should tell a cat. What am I doing? Sorry to say something strange. He murmured and stroked my head. His hand was touching me gently. Why not? I can listen to you if you want. Am I not good enough? I licked his hand. That's an awkward thing to do, though, if you think about it. Not as a cat, but it's just still funny when you're but I'm kind of a human in a cat body, so that's kind of awkward. Mr. Kawahara seems very surprised, and he smiled and stroked my cheek. Are you trying to cheer me up? Thank you. Can I continue? Meow. I can't reply well like a human, so I meowed as a reply. He nodded and lightly sat down. The girl who said she'll die if I don't go out with her asked me. He's talking about the person last night. When I looked up, he looked away. I'm grateful that she's thinking about me, but that's different. Different? The reason she came to this host club is because she was dumped by her ex. If she wanted to feel less lonely, it would be better, but she didn't want to accept that she was dumped. She's so proud and said she wouldn't be dumped. She kept on saying that when she was drunk. She's so proud that she wants to have me because I'm the #1 host. His expression changed. I'm a host, so I have to make our customers feel good, and they pay all that money. It's that kind of work. Mr. Kawahara's voice was getting quieter. Most of the people don't care anymore. I think I can do more than that. When he finished talking, he fell back onto the sofa and looked up into the ceiling. He looks more pained because he was talking about that. If I was a human, would he feel better? No, that's not true. He talked to me because I'm a cat. I wish I could support him. When I think of it, there's not much that I could do. The only thing I could do is to stay next to him. Thank you for talking to me. I'm sorry I can't do anything. Meow. I cried a little, but he didn't look at me. Mr. Kawahara didn't talk for a while. He was looking up at the ceiling. I can't talk, so I was just curling up. There's a knock on the door. Mr. Kyo, you've been called. Mr. Kawahara reacted to the voice and got up from the sofa. He fixed himself up and went towards the door. He turned around and waved. I heard the door open and heard the footsteps further away. Kyo, it's the girl from last night. They shouldn't let her in. It's a person called Kazuya. What are you talking about? She's our customer. Customer is customer. We shouldn't let her in, but she's our customer. Customer's customer. That's why I hate you. I hate you too. Their voice was mixed with other voices and stopped. What the fuck? What even was that conversation? He's probably at the table with a woman called Saya. I couldn't calm down, so I ran around the staff room. Am I gonna be alright? If I stay here, I can't do anything. I jumped out from the window. Club Viola. Look at the men on the sign outside. That's so great. A night breeze touching my cheek. I'm glad it wasn't winter. Mr. Kawahara came up from the shop around the time when many drunk people left the area. Next to him, there's a later 20s girl with him. Her makeup has worn off is wore off as well as her dress. Wait, her makeup is... I was trying to think it was saying like her makeup is worn off as well as her dress, but that sounds like she's disheveled. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Oh, so she's looking a little disheveled. Okay, that's what that's supposed to mean. Okay, great. That's what I was wondering, like her makeup's worn off as well as her dress, but then it's like, she shouldn't be outside if her dress is worn off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you get for getting rice paper dresses that just melt in the rain or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, she probably had too much to drink. Her face was red and she couldn't walk straight. Can you walk, Saya? Mr. Kawahara murmured in her ear and had a smile. No, Kiho, hold me, or carry me. I can't. Hold me. Mr. Kawahara sighed and said no. You don't have muscle much, right, Kyo? Yep, I don't have them. I'll help you walk, all right? All right. Saya was happily laughing and holding Mr. Kawahara's shoulder. Hey, what's inside there? Is that a present? You're so popular. Is this his work too? They look well together. Maybe they became a couple. Or maybe they will become a couple. I guess it's good, I think. Maybe it's all for good. I thought that, but I followed them. They walked towards the residential area. They walked for 10 minutes. They ended staying in the park. They went around the park and sat down on a bench in front of the fountain. Hey, Kyo, we look like a couple. Why don't you want to be my boyfriend? Hey, Saya, I think you've misunderstood. What? I can't tell you well, but do you really love me? Why do you say that? I love you. I really love you, Kyo. I can do anything for you. Why do you doubt me? So, why do you want to... Wait, who do you want to say that to? That's your ex, right? You were drunk and said that so many times. You said, I love you this much, and why did you dump me? What are you talking about, Kyo? You're filling your empty heart with someone else, but it doesn't work. I can accept the real one. Saya went silent. Mr. Kawahara took a breath out and was waiting for Saya to talk, but she didn't say anything. Saya trembled through her shoulders. She glanced at Mr. Kawahara as if she was in denial of what he'd said. Saya, I'm sorry. I can't accept you. Why were you being kind? Is it because it's your work? Mr. Kawahara looked down when Saya said that. No. It's okay. I knew. Hosts are only smiling because of money, right? It's like a dream, you know? I just wanted to stay a bit longer. She sighed and looked at Mr. Kawahara. Goodbye, Kyo. Thank you. Saya got up from the bench and he stood up after. Wait, I wanted to give you... Mr. Kawahara brought something from the bag. That's the flower he got today. Oh, this is... It's the flower you like. I can't be your support, but I hope this could cheer you up a little. Saya looked at the flower and didn't move. She looked at the flower and went closer to Mr. Kawahara. Kyo! In this clear night, there was a clear sound of slapping. Ow! You really are mean! What? Why? Thank you, idiot! Saya left, laughing. Mr. Kawahara stood there holding his cheek. He sat down again after Saya left. What was that? It hurts. Oh, well, she was laughing anyway. I don't think you were wrong. Meow. When I thought that, my voice came out and I meowed a little. My voice overlapped when Mr. Kawahara talked at the same time. The next morning, Mr. Kawahara came to the shop. Hey. Oh, hello. What? No, your cheek. It's swollen. There was Saya's slapping mark on his cheek. Shut up. You can just ignore it. Ignore? Ignore what? It was quite visible, so I couldn't ignore it. I know the incident yesterday, so I couldn't ignore it. Ugh, is it that bad? He was touching his, he was touching to check his cheek. But I'm supposed to be your customer. You just need to deal with me as a clerk at the shop. I shouldn't have worried. He hasn't changed. How can I help you, sir? I had some opposition, but I tried to smile. I'm looking for Texas Bluebell. Texas Bluebell? Oh, You know about this? Good. But I'll ask your boss to make a bouquet. Why? I stopped and looked at him. You look like you're clumsy and don't have good taste. What? This guy is really... I shouldn't react the same way. Calm down. I looked at Mr. Kawahara and smiled. Don't worry. I'll do my job properly. I do my job properly. He's like, what's that supposed to mean? I'm just assuming you didn't do your job properly if you got slapped. Well, I wonder who slapped you. Some woman that you jilted, perhaps? This is why I'm just saying. Anyway. I see then. With Texas Bluebell and Lily, I'll look forward to it. Mr. Kawahara smiled teasingly to me. He talked and smiled in a mean way, but why is it? He looked a bit sad as well. When I turned into a cat at night, I went to Club Viola, where Mr. Kawahara worked at. I walked through the usual way, but when I came closer to the host club, I heard a guitar and someone singing. When I passed through people, I found someone I know on the street. Is that Mr. Kawahara? He was listening to the musician. Then after the music was done, he clapped his hands and talked to the musician. He's having fun. Does he like music? When I looked at him, he realized I was looking at him. Oh, you! I don't have any milk today. I'm not here for milk. Are you all right? Are you free, kitty cat? Do you want to go for a walk? It's the weirdest thing. Let's go for a walk, cat. Okay. Awkwardly weird. Anyway, he looked a little bit weaker than usual. Sure, I'll go with you. Meow. Mr. Kawahara smiled when he heard my voice. All right, I'll take that as a yes. I followed Mr. Kawahara. We're complete shit with his voice. It's all over the fucking place. I think he said like 7 in this whole entire part, but whatever. We walked for a while and he started talking. I've decided. I thought I was okay, but I've done it again. Mr. Kawahara sounds so weak today. He's acting very different. Then he smiled all of a sudden. I thought he looked sad during the day, but I wasn't just imagining it. But it makes me think too. When I'm talking to her, I feel better. Oh, I meant her as in the flower shop clerk. Flower shop? Is that about me? I felt my heart beat faster. He suddenly held me. I froze for a second when he held me. I was walking around skipping work and I heard the guitar. I remember about becoming a musician. He was about to say something, but he coughed to change what he was going to say. I was thinking about it a long time ago. It's been a while since I quit music. I gave up a long time ago. I've aged. I was listening to him. I wasn't nervous anymore being held in his arms. Mr. Kawahara likes music. He looks like he's enjoying himself right now. I was listening to him for a while in his arms. Good. I feel excited now. I'll let you listen to my song. Then Mr. Kawahara took me and started walking. Where is he taking me? Meow. Even if I wanted to listen, I can only say meow. Meow. We stopped at one of the tall apartments. Is it where you live? It was an expensive apartment. He stopped. It was at an expensive apartment? It must be really tall, right? Do you know how tall it is? I've got this large place, but it's too big, It was bought for me, so I have to live here. Someone bought it for you? Being the #1 host must be amazing. Am I going to your apartment? He held me and entered the passcode. Then the door opened. When we got to the room, he took me to the bedroom and made me sit there. Then he went to the other room. I have to wait here? Even if I'm a cat, I feel nervous about staying in the place where a guy is living by himself. I was looking around the room. He came back with normal clothes. Oh, hey, I have to bring that one. Where did I keep this? He was looking inside the closet, and I was just looking around. What is he gonna do? Mr. Kawahara came back with a case after a while. He opened the guitar case and took something out. I'm gonna guess it's a guitar if it's a guitar case. Come on. Good, I can still use this. I have to tune it, though. He plucked the string and started tuning. It looks like he's used to all this gesture. I still remember this. He murmured, but I was about to catch it. I wasn't unable to catch it, I guess. Was he doing some performance on the street, too? Meow. I wanted to listen, so I replied. Mr. Kawahara probably understood what I wanted to say, so he smiled at me. I used to play on the street when I was younger, with a couple of guys. We had less audience than them, and we were amateurs. At first, we were working so hard, I didn't touch it after I gave up, but yeah, I can remember. We can't see our derpy cat face. God damn it. Okay. Oh, wait, here we go. Look at the fucking face. Never gets old. The derpy sock puppet cat face. I love it so much. Like the face for the little avatar is so fucking cute and adorable, and then you have this half-ass job, but I love it so much. It's so adorably funny. I love it. Oh god, it's the best thing ever. Bird! You just ruined my laughter, but at least we can see one eye poking up. As he was saying, Mr. Kawahara touched the guitar to check. It's good now, and this is a special live for the kitty. Mr. Kawahara started playing the guitar. Mr. Kawahara taught me when I jumped with big sound. What? Taught me when I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to say, but you know, it's soundproof in this room. I wish I was able to live here when I was working on music. Oh, and I have a jacuzzi in the bathtub. That's really amazing. Jacuzzi? He stopped talking and started playing. He's cool. I don't know much about the music, but I like his music. I'm sorry. But no way is he making that sound. No way. It's way too jazzy for just him playing a guitar. If he was playing music on the street, I'd stop and listen. Mr. Kawahara started singing with his guitar. He sounds like he's just playing along, but it was both in harmony. Why did he give up? He sounds like he's enjoying it. I don't know why. I don't know how he feels, but I think he's enjoying so much when he sings. He should try one more time. It's not in this room, but I hope I can see him singing on the street, or even better, on a good stage. I was thinking about that while I was listening to his music. I opened my eyes and stretched. I was back in my room. I'm back, right? I'm always checking my body in the morning. My hands, legs, and body. All of them are human. I feel relieved. The way to break the curse. I remembered the words that the black cat told me. To break the curse, I need to have a true love's kiss. True love. I don't think I'll be able to find someone that easily. I feel more depressed after sighing, so I got off from the bed to change my mood. Thank you very much. I sent off our last customer from the shop. It was only Takuma and I in the shop. It's less busy, so should I go and change the display outside? I'm in charge of the product display outside. I fix it quite often when there aren't so many customers. The display outside is the first place the customers check, so you want to keep it eye-catching. There was a clear sky and the color of the flowers looked even more vivid. Considering the weather and the seasonal flowers, maybe this should be here, and that one will match with this one, and the one that will match with this is this one and that one. I look at the flowers that are on display and try to look for some balance. I plan the display in my head and place it on the area. I make some adjustments and make it closer to how I imagine. Might be a bit different. What are you doing? When I turned around, there was Mr. Kawahara looking slightly different from usual. Oh, hello! I can still smell alcohol. Was he working until now? I smelled alcohol and frowned. Don't frown your face when you see your customer. I know you can smell alcohol, but... Oh, you had work until just now? I remembered the question he was asking, so I was explaining what I was doing. I was fixing the flowers so that many customers will stop by. Well, good luck. Yeah, I'll try to make a good display that makes you want to visit. Me? It'll be difficult for you to convince me. Then he grinned and answered. I'll look forward to that. Bye. It's like he likes to tease us. That's why he's so fucking in love with her, and that's why he stops by and harasses her. It's like, again, what are you fucking for? Jesus. Mr. Kawahara grinned and faced the other way to walk away. He grinned and left the shop. I guess he was just passing by. The way he talks hasn't changed, but he cares about the shop. Not just the shop. He may look like he's only complaining, but he sometimes talks to me even on the days he just passes by. I was facing a flower pot. I tried to change it one by one and I made a plan on Saturday. Then I'll change the pot. I was facing a flower pot. I tried to change it one by one and I made a plan on Saturday. Then I'll change the pot. I wanted to make it look like something people want to stop to look at. Finished. It looks nice. I was stretching and looking at the display. It took time, but I think it was worth it. I'm sure Mr. Kawahara will stop by. I mean, he does for work. When would he come next? Are you all right? After lunch, our shop was less busy. Yes, of course. What is it? I stopped cleaning and answered. I'm sorry. Can you go for the delivery? There'll be my regulars coming soon, and I want to deal with them. But they want it to be delivered fast, too. Sure. Where should I deliver to? Thank you. It's for Club Viola. Club Viola? That's where our regular customer, Mr. Kawahara, is working, right? Yeah, all the stuff is already inside the car, so I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, thank you very much. I got the car key and went towards the car. It only takes 10 minutes from the shop to the downtown. I stop the car in the parking lot and deliver the flowers using a cart to deliver, like a delivery cart. It's my first time to enter here as a human. Would Mr. Kawahara... Is Mr. Kawahara there? When I heard that... Now we inside the club, bitches! Oh, we inside the fancy... Those are like actual, like, legit... I'm pretty sure real, like, a real photo liquor bottles. They just, like... Like, those are actual fucking... That's not, like, drawn. That's, like... that's so fucking weird. Anyway. I looked around a little bit and walked down a corridor. I can hear a big voice suddenly. What is this? I jumped when I heard the voice. That was surprising. Something happened inside? I can't see what it's like from where I'm standing. Well, what should I do? It's difficult for me to enter. Go closer and check. Oh, yeah. I'm scared, but if I don't get closer, I won't know what's happening. I can't just stay here, too. I started moving with my cart. I was thinking how I should enter. Since last month, 20% of the sales are dropping. We had people making more claims, Kyo. What have you been doing? I heard a person yelling. When I came closer to the hall, there was a middle-aged guy coming closer to Mr. Kawahara. I'm sorry, sir. He was bowing towards the person, and it was weird to see him. You think you'll be all right just by apologizing? Even if Mr. Kawahara apologized, he doesn't calm down, so he went closer to Mr. Kawahara. But he didn't move or change his expression and apologized quietly. You're the #1 host in this club, right? It was only that level here. I don't know what that means. I mean, Mr. Kawahara was looking down and went silent. I don't know what kind of expression he has or what he's thinking. You understand me? You bring back up the number of sales by next month. This is an order from the owner. Yes, I'll bring it back up. The owner came towards me after Mr. Kawahara talks. The owner didn't even think much when I passed through. I don't know how to talk to him after I saw a situation like that. Mr. Kawahara... When I called Mr. Kawahara, he looked up towards me as if nothing happened. Oh, he came for the delivery. All good? Yeah, can you sign here, please? Mr. Kawahara talked to me normally, so I tried to speak the same as usual. What was it about earlier? I was worried about Mr. Kawahara, but it sounds difficult to ask. I got the signature for handling the flowers and left Club Viola. Boom! It's about time, so I'm going to stop here, and we'll continue, since this is as good a place as any. It can only be another minute or so, but we'll stop here, and we'll continue this in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.